So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here again is the 2024 Volkswagen Tharu SEL. So this is one of the top of the line versions of the Tharu lineup here in the Philippines, and I'd like to thank Volkswagen Philippines for making this review possible. So finally I got a lend out of my first ever Volkswagen on my channel, and what a first Volkswagen to do it, because for now at the moment this is one of my favorite Volkswagens that I've ever driven so far, and possibly my new favorite compact crossover. So I already did a full impression review back at Volkswagen BGC. Check that out. I did a little bit more details with the exterior and the interior, because this one is the things that I just missed during that first drive impression, and I did to the base model SE. So yet again, check that out on my channel. With the looks of this Volkswagen Tharu, surprisingly I see a lot of people looking at this car. Maybe it's a brand new Volkswagen. At the same time, they're not much of this yet on our roads, and actually for me, this color, specific color, this is such a head turner and I really love it. Yes, I did say in my first part 1 review that the looks of this looks like an oversized T-Cross. So you get LED lights all on and a very long LED light bar over here that stretches all the way here from the badge. Well, this part does not illuminate at all. You get a front camera over here, sensors here all around too. I'll get more on this too later. On the ground clearance is more or less like same with the Ticos at 185 millimeters or so. On the side profile, I really love this design. So you get garnish here with the Tharu logo, and you get 18-inch alloy wheels with hubcaps with red accents. So I wasn't a big fan of this at first, but this grew on me already because I do love the addition of the red accents. You get electronic side folding mirrors too, along too with your cameras underneath, and blind spot monitoring here in the inner part of the mirror. What I did not mention too in my part 1 review, I also noticed these things when I have these cars for a bit longer. We were going back to the grocery with my mother. I found there were paddle lamps present too on this Tharu. I never expected this to have paddle lamps whatsoever. So being the SEL top of the line variant, there's a lot more gloss black trims here than usual. For me, this is actually my spec of the Tharu. I know I love the base model, but there's less chrome. Well, the only chrome present here in this Tharu are the door handles on either side, but mainly it anyway. So powering this Tharu SEL is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 158 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque, and this one too is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and I have a lot more to say now since I've driven this on the highway. This is the EA211 engine. So this is already a proven engine in other markets. One detail that I did not mention too during the first drive impressions, the turbocharger is actually located at the rear. Now here at the rear of the Tharu SEL, so yet again being the SEL trim, there's more gloss black trims over here, like here in the spoiler. And my favorite part, like what I said too with the first drive impressions, is the entire LED light assembly here. Even the Volkswagen insignia itself illuminates. I really love this feature. I know it's a little bit OA, but it just suits this Tharu in my opinion. And two, you get black badges here all around, and then you have fake vents and a skid plate just down here. And open this boot up. So this one is an electronic tailgate too. It's kind of fast too. So total space here is 455 liters, literally enough for gaming essentials and your racing equipment. Underneath here, you have a space saver donut type tire. Then here on the left side, you have a hidden 12-volt socket, and on the right side, you have a halogen light and an EWD, and a very thick tonneau cover here too. That since being a Volkswagen, so the quality here is really good too. And finally, when you fold all of the seats down, now it totals to 1,543 liters. And going back to the tailgate, since I did mention it's kind of fast, this still has an anti-pinch feature, which is good, but it's kind of violent though, because you have quite a lot. It needs quite a lot of force for it to be activated. Yeah, so you have to watch out for that. So yeah, that's about it with the exterior, the boot, and the engine of this Volkswagen Taru SEL. Let's check out the interior, where there's a lot more things than I discovered now. So this is the interior of the Volkswagen Tharu. Okay, one annoying thing I immediately found with this Tharu. So once you even step out of the car, even with the engine on, yeah, it will scream a lot. So there are a lot of nitpicks that I found with this Volkswagen Tharu personally, but still overall the experience with this Tharu is nevertheless really good. So here the interior again of this Volkswagen Tharu SEL, yeah, looks more premium than usual. Here in the door card you get a two-tone finish. It's two different shades of blue too, and yes, there's plastic below here on either side of the doors. But what I noticed now too, since I had this for a couple of days now, even the plastic has a shade of blue along here too in the seats for your electronic adjustments. So I never knew that, so I thought it was all black here. So Volkswagen did a good job of making things here more, yet again, premium than usual. So get your window switches here, adjustments for your side mirror, and a defogging function here too. I didn't mention that too in my first drive impressions. And like all Volkswagens too, you get your electronic boot release button here. Sadly, it's only for an open function, but okay, let's try that now. So I have here the key with me right here. That's to open the tailgate, right? So there's the you cannot close it using the key. Bummer. So here on the left side of the dashboard, you get your air conditioning vents, squeegee material yet again, and then your light controls down here, and further down you get an extra compartment. One thing I immediately found out when this was given me yesterday on the first day, so above here you have your LED lights and controls for your panoramic sunroof, but I noticed there's no sunglasses holder whatsoever. I mean, the one here on the left side, I don't count that because that's usually your placement for your RFIDs and money. And then visor, you have a vanity mirror with LED light. Don't extend, but then again the visor is really thick, so good quality yet again. And biggest talking point now with this Tharu SEL are the capacitive buttons on the steering wheel, and then here in the middle for your AC control. So start here in the steering wheel. Okay, I'd like to apologize in my first drive impressions. It's not so bad actually. Yes, it's a little bit confusing at first, but I don't mind it because it's not too touch sensitive, but at least you can press and act it like buttons. So here's for your digital instrument cluster. You have 3 views. So being an old school, I prefer the ones with the regular tachometer and speedometer and your fuel economy right in the middle. So here on the left side, you have get your cruise control functions, and then adjusting for the volume. You can either press them or slide them, so it's a little bit delayed at first. Same too on the right side for your, again, instrument cluster and voice command button, and then further down, that's for your adjusting for changing the radio stations. So I'll get back to the infotainment because I will do a full tour of this. Glove box, even the glove box is blue. Space is decent, but at least there's a cooling function just right inside. I found that very handy too, since I traveled a lot with this car. We put all our bottles there to keep our drinks cool, so very handy feature. And then here in the middle, you get again your capacitive touches for your climate control, but again you can just touch it like this and either slide it side to side. Again, it's not so bad, but again, my big nitpick, they're all gloss black, so right now it's full of my fingerprints. Anyways, and few more things too I did not mention in my part 1 review. So you get a clean air function, and then the first car I've ever encountered that has 3 modes for your air conditioning. So you get one for your feet, and then your body, and then for your head. So basically head shot, body shot, and feet shot. Sorry, just kidding. And then further down below, you get your USB-C ports, a 12-volt socket, and a wireless charging pad. Hilarious little detail for this 12-volt socket, there's an Audi logo. I wish it was Porsche, but anyways, that's I'm just nitpicking at this point. So you get heating functions too for your seats, and here too in the steering wheel. I've not used it whatsoever, but I might use it now because the heavens have opened yet again. And going back here on the sunroof, I really love this feature since it stretches all the way to the back seats. It illuminates this cabin really well, and I parked this under the sun for quite a while just to test if the heat will go through the sunroof itself. I had no issues whatsoever. The air conditioning of this is really good. Okay, it's not as good as some of the Japanese brands out there, but nevertheless, this is a very good air conditioning system itself. And remember, this specific Tharu unit has no tint whatsoever, so yeah, The aircon again is really good. Here around in your gear shift, so you get only one blank button, but you have a lot of buttons here for your park assist. Apologies, I won't be able to demo that. Your parking sensor for your 360-degree camera, your auto start stop function. More on that too later when you get to driving modes over here, auto hold function, and your electronic parking brake. Okay, one thing I will mention now, coming from a drive, and then if you're going to put it into park now, the electronic parking brake will engage automatically. Yeah, a bit weird with that. You have to do it still manually. And then further behind, you get two cup holders, a copy space for your phone, and card slots here. Example like this for your RFIDs. And you get something Bentley-ish over here. You get an extendable armrest, and then your center console box underneath. Okay, the space in there is pretty decent, I have to say. And then big highlight for me too, since this being the Tharu SEL, are the seats over here. It's as well a 12-way power adjust, so I found the lumbar support really helpful for a long drive with this. And then yet again, there's a lot of adjustments here, and one of the more comfortable seats I've ever sat so far in a crossover. So this is the key too of the Tharu SEL. So just in case this car goes low, but you still have a manual key fob. But few things I noticed with this Tharu, there's no remote start or the walk away feature, or like for example you just leave the car and then it will automatically lock the vehicle once you walk away from the car. That's why it's called the walk away feature. Yeah, I find that very weird for this price point for this Tharu. Yeah, that's about here in front of this Volkswagen Tharu. So the rear seats itself, same two-tone finish like the ones in front. You get map pockets behind both front seats, and then here in the middle you get two air conditioning vents, one USB-C port and a USB port, and then a cubby space down below which fits my phone. Thank God there's a USB port right here in the rear because I'm an Android user myself. And then I even love the plastic here as well, is all blue. And then in the central armrest you get two cup holders on either side, and I love it's modular, but however it does not fit my big water jug whatsoever. And as well on the rear door cards, they don't fit, but the only place where it fits are here in the ones in front. And then space there in the back, it's as well one of the best. So feet room and knee body room, yeah, it's a lot. And then headroom, despite the panoramic sunroof too, yeah, I'm 5'4", excellent headroom, so around 6-footers will be okay there. The transmission tunnel too, it's kinda tall, but I don't mind putting your feet up and then sitting there in the middle, just as good as either left and right side of the seat. And again, there's a little bit more headroom. Yet again, you only have to watch out for the panoramic cover for the sunroof. So yeah, that's about here with the interior of this Volkswagen Tharu. Let's demo now the 12-inch infotainment system. So here, this is your home button, and as you can see, there is gesture control. So may the force be with you. So it's a little bit laggy at times, but then again, at least it still works. Then here, this is your radio, and then there's a lot of there's a lot of presets for this Tharu. So there's like 6 pages. As you can see, you can put whatever you want here. So you heard a little bit of the speaker, so not much people mention this. Volkswagen actually incorporated with Beats Corporation, so this have kind of like Beats sound system. No wonder the bass is really good. So here's for your tuning. Then settings, I love it flips as well. So this goes to also all the settings, which I'll show you later on. And there's for your AM. So back at home. Oh yeah, another nitpick of mine, you only have Apple CarPlay for this Volkswagen Tharu, no Android Auto. However though, I did demo Apple CarPlay. Shout out to my friend Orbs again. Apple CarPlay is decent. There's a little bit of delay from scrolling the maps here and there, but the resolution is really good. So yet again, pretty decent all around. And then here for your vehicle status, so you get tire pressure monitoring system. Then here's for your Think Blue. So this is kind of like your eco score, so how much you've done. Well, ignore this kilometer per liter, since I've been just doing my B-rolls here in the car park. So you can actually test how fuel efficient your driving is. And then here for your driving data, yet again, ignore all of this. This is just random numbers. I'll share more again the fuel economy when I get to drive this. Then here for your digital cockpit. So it's kind of cool. You can adjust them here on the steering wheel, and then here too in the infotainment system. So yet again, I do like the classic look with the regular tachometer and speedometer. And then back here, this is for again for your fuel economy, your Think Blue. Oh, this one's for your themes in case you connect your phone. Then here's for equalizer. So I love the previous person who lent this Tharu out because he put the bass at maximum. Very good job there. And this is for your focus. Okay, pretty responsive too. And volume. And then yeah, that's mainly it. And here finally for your 360-degree camera, I did say I wish there was a little bit better resolution, but then again, at least there still is. So yeah, a little bit of a delay, but then again, at least it still works. So I don't even know what this is. So this is I think the adjustments of the sound of the sensors. And then again, oh yeah, as well these parking sensors, I find a little bit too sensitive, especially when you're driving around in EDSA. But then again, you can turn them off here if you want only. But I did find the sensitive of the sensors only happens around here in front and here on the side. Not much going on at the rear. And then here too for your climate control. Yet again, you can do it below here on the capacitive touches. And then yeah, there's a lot of modes here you can do. Interesting enough. I forgot to mention, at below the seats, the front seats of this, there's air conditioning for the feet for the rear passengers. So yet again, pretty interesting. And then you can adjust it here again. And then for your heating, climate control function, yeah, you can do it all here in yet again in the infotainment system. Then here are your driving modes. So eco, normal, sport mode, my favorite, and then custom mode. And then custom mode, as you can see here, this is the only place where you can adjust. So I didn't even know this had 2 steering modes, so I had no idea during my first drive impressions if it was left in normal or sport mode. So I will leave this at sport mode, drivetrain in eco, light assist, I will leave it on sport mode too. But then again, the main modes, eco, normal, and sport, they do the job excellently. So speaking of, let's go for a drive. So finally, driving again this Tharu SEL. So since I've driven this on the highway now, yeah, I have a lot more to talk about now than usual. So first impressions immediately. Okay, this is probably one of the smoothest driving crossovers I've ever driven so far. It's really good, and then you can just suddenly turn it up just like that. That's what I like to with Volkswagen vehicles. They may look subtle, but once you drive them like a maniac, actually, yeah, they're really, really good. It's a really, really good driving experience. And yeah, the one I did not mention before too, there's 2 driving modes. Wait, before that, so what I like to, I'm just in eco mode and floor it. Oh my jeez. Yeah, so that's what I love with this 1.5 liter turbocharged engine and this 7-speed DSG combo. It's really, really fast, surprisingly, for what this is. And yeah, going back to the steering mode, I never knew there were 2 modes. So I found normal just a little bit too light, but it's very easy. So in sport mode, there's just a little bit more heft than usual. That's why I left it at the heaviest. But make no mistake, driving this sensibly is actually pretty easy. And then here over humps and bumps. And then another thing I found out, the suspension, this is just a little bit firm, but it's no means an uncomfortable experience. And going over humps and bumps, yes, you can feel it, but gives it a more stable ride. There's not much actually surprising, not much suspension tugs going on too. And then going over very fast corners, it's pretty flat too. Yeah, I really can't stop talking about the driving dynamics of this Tharu. It's really good. I've driven them over really big manholes and potholes, uneven road surfaces. Yeah, it handled them pretty well. Yes, there's just a little bit of shake in the cabin, but then again, it soaks the bumps really, really well. And then here, just in eco mode, oh yeah, this is probably my favorite mode of the Tharu. Yes, I know I'm a sporty kind of driver, so that's why I leave some cars mostly in sport most of the time. But for this Tharu in eco mode, I did notice on the highway, it saves a lot of fuel by doing this. And once you let off the throttle, it will go to neutral, and then once you step on the accelerator yet again, it will go back to the same gear where you left it in. So no wonder this Volkswagen Tharu is very, very fuel efficient, especially on the highway. And I'll get to that later on. And then here, just driving around 30-40 kilometers per hour. Yeah, the NVH of this is really good. Although one thing I found out, there's a lot of tire noise if the roads are not really good. But on smooth pavement, like example here in Green Hills and during my first test drive review in BGC, yes, there's a lot of tire noise going into the cabin, but it's still not so bad. But that's the only thing I noticed. And on highway speeds, it's pretty stable, it's comfortable, it's quiet. Yeah, one of the best crossovers I've driven on the highway so far. Here, like on uneven surfaces, you can hear a bit of tire noise. I'm driving around like what, 40 kilometers per hour now, and that's that big bump again. I'll gun it on the way back. Yeah, on eco mode, this is surprisingly for what this is really fuel efficient. So with city driving, absolute heavy EDSA traffic, I did 8 kilometers per liter because this auto start stop feature is really handy. And with lesser traffic, I managed 11.6 kilometers per liter, which is actually good. But what impressed me the most is highway driving. So the most common number with a little bit fast pacing, I managed 19.6 kilometers per liter. But absolute featherweight on the throttle itself, the best I got is 21 kilometers per liter. That is pretty insane. And this is not even a hybrid vehicle and it's achieving these numbers. Okay, I would say it's worth the 1.9 million pesos. Here, finally, let's put it now into sport mode. I noticed in sport mode it hangs on in the gears a lot longer. Oh yeah, so in any of the modes, the auto startup feature will activate. So I did notice the transition from turning on the engine again. It's a little bit jerky, but to get the smoothest application of this, you have just to tap the throttle and let it be like this. There, that's so smooth as it can go, like on heavy start-stop traffic. But if you just gun it a little bit, like this, it will, yeah, see, it's just a little bit jerky. And then here, just floor it. Wow! Then here's that big bump. Right, soaks them up pretty well. That was not the suspension though, that's just my water jug on the door. Yeah, excellent NVH2 around in the suspension. Very impressed with this Tharu. Yeah, not gonna lie now, I'm in love with this Volkswagen Tharu. I've never considered one because of its price. Yes, this is already close to 2 million pesos. Well, to be exact, this cost 1,945,000 pesos. But given everything, I really want one. I would say though, it's better than the Chevrolet Taos, and what Volkswagen is pinpointing this at the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. Yes, the city fuel economy is not as good as the hybrid, but on highway, that's where this Volkswagen Tharu shines. And this one, oh my gosh. Okay, one nitpick again, I wish there were paddle shifters, but as I said, like with the La Vida de la Mando, I didn't see the need for it anyways. Okay, let's demo again the auto start stop feature. Yeah, slightly jerky, but again the transition is pretty quick, but yeah, you have to watch out for that. So okay, let's start one more time, because actually earlier it was actually just crawling and then at a standstill. And say it again if it will stop. So the auto start stop feature is sometimes a little bit gets confused. Sometimes it doesn't turn off, sometimes it turns on. So you have to watch out for that if you coast it into neutral, because the auto hold function sometimes does not activate when the auto start stop kicks in. So yeah, a little bit of a weird thing I noticed. So here, just try a bit smoother. There you go. You can still feel a bit of the shudder, but then again, at least it still works. Oh yeah, driving this last night too, finally got, since I was driving this the whole day yesterday, the ambient lighting here in the interior, especially there on the right side where the Tharu badge is. So shout out to my mom, she made this very beautiful raw shot. That's what I love with this cabin of this Tharu, especially with this sunroof. There's a lot of natural light coming in, which is more premium than usual. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, the brakes too are really strong and actually pretty stiff too. So kind of reminds me of another German brand. Yeah. Yeah, I can confirm now, this all-new Volkswagen Tharu SEL is the ultimate sleeper crossover, and it's definitely worth your money. So that concludes my review of this Volkswagen Tharu SEL. I'd like to thank Volkswagen Philippines so much for lending me out this Tharu SEL, and I hopefully to review more Volkswagens in the future too. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you yet again with more Volkswagen reviews. I can't stop driving this thing. I love it. I really don't want to bring it back. So, and again, so check out my base model review too. That's actually worth a steal. It's 130,000 pesos less than this. So, one more time. So, hope you guys like and subscribe. And I will see you with more future Volkswagen reviews and more car reviews. Bye-bye.